All right, so three. I did Ecamm. I just did Facebook and Instagram Live. Okay, so let me know when you can see me on all the platforms. Hey everyone, we're gonna just give it a second to make sure that we're showing up before we dive into the Ask Me Anything. You guys know how the Hey Hamas, good to see you. You guys know how the tech gremlins like to come for me. So, nevertheless, I look forward to sharing with you guys what we have in store for our Ask Me Anything. Drop your questions in the chat. We're going to talk any and everything short term and midterm rentals. I've scheduled this for a quick 30-minute Q&A to check in on everyone, see how everyone is doing with their journey because, yeah, we're about to be in September. Can you believe it? We're about to be in September, the last month before the last quarter. So, what have you done for 2024? Where are you now? Where are you now? And where are you trying to be? That's what we're talking about right now. So, I'm just going to check in with my team. I'm waiting to get the thumbs up. Let me go in Slack and see what that looks like. All right. All right. That's an improvement. So awesome. So I'm being told that we're in the places. So, hey, y'all, welcome back, friends. This is Dr. Rachel Gainsborough with Short Term Gems. I am so glad that you're here today. I help busy doctors and professionals just like you. I'm going to bring my mic a little bit closer if that's okay with you. I help them to create a life that they don't need a vacation from by creating life changing income streams through smart, no nonsense real estate investments. My superpower is finding those high profit markets and high profit strategies and showing you how to use real estate strategies that won't eat up all of your time. I also host the Luxury Rental Doctor podcast where I break down real estate into easy, actionable steps to help you achieve financial freedom without all the hassles. Excuse me. So, my very two favorite strategies are how to get started with short term rentals and how to get started with midterm rentals. I call that my two-door strategy. And we do what I call what is called, well, we coined it the depreciation double dip. So, we will launch a short term rental to take advantage of the massive tax loopholes that are available, and we will convert it to a midterm rental the following year. And the midterm rental guests that we focus on are the families who are displaced from their home due to a catastrophe or due to a disaster. Because here's the deal. There are multitude of midterm rental strategies out there. A lot of people talk about travel nursing, and no dig on them. My sisters are travel nurses as well. However, there are more than 50 midterm rental strategies. So bear in mind the strategies that have a lot of meat left on the bone, the strategies that actually have a bigger pocket profit margin. I would focus on those. Okay, I'm having allergies personally to some snacks that I had a little earlier. That's what I get for eating the kids' school snacks, guys. Oh my gosh. And nevertheless, so I'm here to support you every step of the way. I am looking for questions that you may have. Feel free to start dropping them in the chat. I see a few of them coming in. So let me dive into how was the day you're talking from where? Okay. I'm not sure what that statement is. Hamas, could you provide me some clarification? Thank you for joining us, but I'm not exactly sure what you are asking. Feel free to provide me some clarification. I'm here to help you, my friend. So feel free to do so. Okay, so Malik is asking about, hang on, I saw that question come in. Okay, is this strategy a fit for a person who does not own a home? Yes, the two-door strategy is a fit if you do not own a home, because first and foremost, our goal is to get you into a home. Here's the thing, when it comes to real estate investing, we need to talk about the property side of things, right? You need 1 to 2 properties. We're not going to do 100 doors. That's what we're not going to do. It is a quality over quantity strategy. So you need 1 to 2 properties. You need two. I honestly believe 2 properties could really change the game for you. You need 2 high demand properties, 2 well appointed properties, 2 highly profitable properties if you're going to have a chance with real of investing in real estate in this day and age. Okay, so I want you to take control. I want you to leverage the resources that are at your fingertips and analyze and acquire two properties. That those are the two first phases in our quadrant for successful real estate investing. So there's analyze, acquire, amplify, and automate. So you want to analyze the markets, you want to underwrite the deal, you want to acquire two highly profitable properties in order to make that change that you're needing to make to, kind of change the trajectory of your life. So great question. Thank you for asking that. All right, guys, continue to ask your questions in the chat. All right, our next question comes from Emmy. Okay, Emmy says, why do you recommend short-term rentals and mid-term rentals over long-term rentals, over commercial real estate? Okay, so got that. So it's a two-part question. Let me cover this portion first. All right, so when it comes to short-term rentals, and when it comes to midterm rentals, the reason I recommend that strategy is because I have control issues. And this is a strategy, it's the absolute best strategy for you to get started with real estate investing. That is the most approachable. It allows you to take out loans that are reasonable. It allows you to have a fixed rate mortgage for the next 30 years. A lot of people right now are hurting from variable rate mortgages that they leverage for large multifamily deals. And so short-term rentals and midterm rentals, not only are you taking advantage of those amazing fixed rate mortgages, but you are taking advantage of a strategy that's going to cash flow a whole lot more than a long-term rental. As far as commercial real estate, I've already mentioned that my concern with commercial real estate is that those deals aren't approachable for the average Joe. So for those who are working a regular 9 to 5, a lot of our members are doctors who just graduated, they just became an attending. They have student loan debt that they're battling with, like we did. We were battling $500,000 in student loan debt when we first got started. Well, the struggle was that, there's not a lot of what did Dave Ramsey used to say? Month left over after the check, right? So there's month, then the revenue. So multifamily is not very approachable unless you combine your funds and pull it together with other investors to then invest into that particular deal. And although there is a time and there is a place for that, that is not going to give you the cash flow that you desire if you're looking to cut back on your W-2, if you're looking to walk away from it or take a sabbatical. It's not going to provide you that kind of cash flow up front. So that's more of an equity / exit play. You're going to see your returns a few years from now. But if you're looking for cash flow today, it requires you to purchase a midterm rental or a short-term rental. And what that is a single family home. Here's what I recommend if I would build out the buy box for you, Emmy. It is a single family home that is 4 bedrooms in a great neighborhood with great schools, that is in an area that has a lot of owner-occupied properties. That's where the biggest opportunities are. You want to, of course, review regulations. Regulations are key. They will make or break your deal. So regulations come before numbers. And the great thing is your budget is your guide. So if you're thinking, I want to invest in this very high cost of living market, well, if you have that budget, that's fine. But I want to make sure that your budget and the revenue potential, they correspond very well. For example, if I look up a market, the revenue potential is $100,000 and my budget is $500,000, and I'm finding properties for $500,000 in that particular market, then my gross yield, high level, I would take the 100,000 divided by the 500,000, and that's a 20% gross yield. And we're able to find a property just like that in the San Antonio market, which is really dope. And so keep that in mind. So those deals are still out there. A lot of people are thinking, oh, all the good deals are gone. They're not. Closed on that property, and we have two more that we're looking to close on really, really soon inside of our community with those same types of margins, with those same amazing numbers. But you got to look. You got to look for those deals, okay? So hopefully that helps someone. And for those who aren't aware, so there are 5% down loans, there are 10% down loans, there are 20% down loans, there are 0% down loans, depending on where you are on your journey. If you are, we did what is called live and flips. So we use really good low down payment loans initially when we started out. We lived in those properties for a number of years, and then we would rent them out, and then we would purchase our next one. So that's something to consider. Of course, look at all the rules, make sure you're not breaking the law, you follow all the regulations. But from there, that is how we built our portfolio from one property all the way up to 18. So that's one strategy. As far as additional lending products, we leveraged DSCR loans, also known as debt service coverage ratio loans. I got a little distracted there. Debt service coverage ratio loans is another strategy as well that you want to take a look at. It's another lending product that you want to take a look at. So DSCR loans, they're typically 15% down, 20% down, and you are leveraging that loan because what's great about it is it typically does not count against your DTI, your debt to income ratio. So by the time you get to property 3 or 4, your debt to income ratio is impacted. So the DSCR loans are very, very handy. They come in handy. And again, so if it's a $500,000 property, you need to put down 10%, that's $50,000 down, and then closing costs, or you need to put down 5%, depending if you find a local regional bank. That's $25,000 down. This is how we started. We actually started with $19,000 down on one particular property, right? That was our start. We had scraped, we had saved, we had gotten bonuses, and that is essentially how we started with our very, very first purchase. So it's figure outable. It's very, very possible to get started. So just wanted to share that with you. Okay, a few more questions. I know I went all in. Okay. All right, next question. Hi, Lap. Lap says, I currently have a midterm rental, but I'm struggling to get it booked. Any advice? Yes. I have a lot of advice, Lapsio. Lapsio, thank you so much for joining. So Lap, when it comes to getting your midterm rental booked from an insurance company, I'm going to speak specifically on insurance companies and temporary housing families because that is our area of expertise. That is who we work with primarily. And you know what? I'm going to stop sharing screens with you, my friend, just because I don't want any lagging. Okay, so when it comes to that, okay, so I'm going to take out your pen and paper because you're going to need to take some notes, okay? Because I want to make sure, again, like I said, I want to offer you as much value as possible during the Ask Me Anything, and we're not getting a whole lot of questions quite yet. And I do have time to cover what it is that I want to cover. So let's get this party started. All right, so when it comes to leveraging the insurance policyholder strategy or the displaced homeowners or the disasters displays. There are so many names. It goes by so many names. That is what I want to focus on. Now, again, there are multiple avatars or secondary midterm rental people that you can serve, but I just want to focus on this because this is who we serve primarily, okay? So hear me out. There's an entire client journey that you want to be aware of in order to crush it in this space, okay? So the client journey includes, first and foremost, being seen. Are you being seen? Are you being found? Is there any visibility? That first part of the journey is called awareness, okay? Are they aware that you even exist? Are they aware that you even exist? And the reason that they need to become aware, and the reason that it's important, is if you're not aware, if they're not aware, you're not going to be found. Okay. If they're not aware, you will not be found. So I want you to check lap. What is your visibility? Are you getting inquiries and just not closing the deal, or are you not even getting inquiries? Is there no interest in the property and the value proposition and the product that you have to offer? Okay, so that's the very first question that's fundamental. And let me share with you some of the biggest mistakes I've seen. The reason why most people are not even getting that initial outreach is because their calendar is out of sync. Their calendar is all jacked up. They have all of these people booked on their calendar, 2 nights here, 3 nights here, 4 nights here, peppered all over their calendar, just peppered everywhere. And so let's talk about the scenario. Disaster strikes, right? Disaster strikes. And guess what? The guests, the family, they go online to find your property to rent it out for their family. You're not even showing up. You're nowhere to be found. You're nowhere to be found on search because they're looking for a length of stay of 30 days. They're looking for 60 days. You're not available on search because you've got all of these 2-night bookings peppered all over your calendar. Your calendar is out of sync. As soon as someone tells me, well, the insurance isn't even reaching out, and if they meet everything else in the buy box criteria that we've developed for them, it's because their calendar is out of sync. So how do we solve that? Unfortunately, this is being recorded, but nevertheless, I'm just going to spill the tea and we'll take it down afterwards. So for those of you who are here live, you're welcome. But we solve that by creating month-to-month listings, like a listing. I don't want to call it a duplicate, although you're able to do duplicate listings, but month-to-month listings on the major platforms, okay? The platforms that we use, I'll share that with you in a moment, because when I say your calendar is out of sync, you're wondering, but where is it out of sync? So we'll talk about the platforms that we use momentarily. Okay. All right. So bear in mind, if you are not showing up fully available, ready to serve, you're not going to get bookings. I mean, it's so obvious. I know. And I don't mean to insult anyone. That's how obvious it sounds, but time and time again, I got to like bring it back to the basic. That is the basic. It is basically that. It is basically your calendar is out of sync is why you are not getting bookings. So how do we increase your visibility? How do we help in that regard? And feel free to update the question if you're getting all the inquiries, but you just like you're not taking them down that journey, you're not taking them to the next step and then the next to close it. That's a whole different conversation, because if you're getting inquiries, my friend, that is a whole different conversation. But I think this conversation will help a lot of people as well. Okay. All right. So we're going to make it easy. We're going to keep it as simple as possible. Well, we increase our visibility by increasing where we're showing up on platforms. So multi-platform listing is one of our major strategies to increasing our awareness. Okay, there are 3 ways to increase awareness. You increase your availability on your calendar, you increase your visibility as much as possible, and multi-platform listings is how you increase your visibility. Where are the platforms? Like it or not, hear me out. Like it or not, Airbnb is the Google of furnished housing, period. Okay, I'm going to take a sip. I need a sip. Hopefully it's not what I'm drinking that's giving me the allergies. I don't know. I'll have to check that out later. Airbnb is the Google of furnished housing, point blank, period. Okay. Airbnb is the Google of furnished housing. Okay. Let me let that breathe for a second. Right. So my question to you would then be, if you're coming to me, you're saying, Rachel, I'm not even getting inquiries. Okay. Are you listed on Airbnb? Okay, where else are they looking? If you're a property that's 2 bedrooms or smaller, I want you to list on Furnish Finder as well. If you're a property 3 bedrooms or larger, I want you to list on Corporate Housing by Owner. Okay, so multi-platform listings, Verbo, list on Verbo. Okay, and after that, once you are listed on those platforms that are like syndicating, they're pushing your listing out to all the places, I want you to also list with specific temporary housing agents. Okay. I want you to list with specific temporary housing agents. The number one temporary housing agency in North America, which is the middleman that helps the insurance find the property. The number one temporary housing agency in North America is called ALE Solutions. So you want to go to their website, alesolutions.com, go to register property, just type in the information. You don't even need photos. You list, that's a wrap. Okay. From there, once they start reaching out, the great news is once they start reaching out, regardless of if you're able to close the deal or not, we're able to close 9 out of 10 of the deals that come in. The only reason, like the 1 out of 10 that doesn't close, is due to mobility. Say the family has a mobility constraint and we happen to have just one property that doesn't have a master bedroom and a full bathroom on the main level. Okay. Just one property, but that one stays fully booked, thankfully. But yeah, not recommended. All right. So once you get that inquiry, now you start to build a list of insurance agencies and temporary housing agencies that are reaching out to you. Keep their names, keep their phone numbers, keep their email addresses stored in your file. And whenever you have a vacancy coming up, as a matter of fact, we need to reach out to one that just reached out to us on Sunday. You have a vacancy coming up. Guess what? You reach out to them and let them know, hey, coming soon. You share what your property has to offer. Okay. So I made a lot of assumptions there, my friend. I assume that you're not getting booking because you're not even getting found. But if that wasn't your situation, well, let's move on to the next phase of the journey. So the next phase of the journey is the goal is to finally get that family to visit the property. So this is a little bit different from short-term and mid-term rentals, which are short-term rentals that are listed on platforms like Airbnb. There's no pre-visiting the property, right? What you see is what you get. You trust the pictures, trust the process. With mid-term rentals, these individuals end up being longer term stays. And so we allow them to visit the properties to make sure it's going to be a good fit for them for the next 6 to 13 months, right? They're almost like a long-term tenant. So keep that in mind. So that is the goal. The goal is that visit to the property. And if you set up the property exactly the way I share with you inside of the program, inside of our irresistible property setup with all of the items per room and checklist, you're going to pass that visit with flying colors. So how do we journey them to the visit? Well, here's how. Once they reach out to you, the first thing you want to ensure that you're completing is a proposal. You want to go ahead and email them or call them and let them know, hey, here are the terms, quickly, concisely, start date, end date, monthly rate, so on and so forth. And from there, the flow is they're going to send it to the insurance adjuster. They're sending it to the insurance adjuster for approval. Okay, that is the goal. They're going to send it to the insurance adjuster for approval. And once they have sent it to the adjuster for approval, they're going to come back to you and let you know, hooray, it's approved. Where's the bottleneck? Here's the bottleneck that I see happening time and time again. You provide them that proposal. It's like 7 or 8 lines, quick, short, and sweet email, and you don't hear back. And so the members of our community reach out and say, hey, they're ghosting me. Well, there's no such thing as ghosting in this business. When you are a business, when you're an entrepreneur, when you're a real estate investor, right? This is how business works. The fortunes are in the follow-up. Point blank, period. Write that down. The fortunes are in the follow-up. So if you provide them the information, they're not reaching back out, I want you to evaluate, well, what is the follow-up? What was your follow-up sequence? Did you reach out 2 or 3 days after? I want you to evaluate, okay, was there a reason for them to not want to move forward to the visit, to the property visit? Is your property description such that it intrigued them enough? Is your property differentiating enough from the competitors in the market? Is the value there, the value that you're providing transparent? Is it there? Are you letting them know what it is you can offer? Are you bundling the pricing? So just follow up. Make sure you have all those things in place. Make sure you're conveying that, oh, yeah, I know how to work with these families. This is what we do. We do a good job. We serve them at the highest possible level. And that should get you the visit. Okay. That should get you the visit. And if for whatever reason they decline you, and you have no clear transparency as to why you got declined, then evaluate the property's listing description, reevaluate the photos, reevaluate the value that you're adding to the marketplace. Are other properties a whole lot better than your property, right? So find out what it is that you can bring to the table that's going to allow yours to kind of peacock above the fray. We never want to be in the red ocean swimming around with everyone in the feeding frenzy fighting for their lives. We want to be in the blue ocean where there's not a lot of competition. We don't have time for competition, right? Because we have these amazing busy lives that we need to contend with. Was the value not there? Was their lack of transparency? Was there a lack of bundle pricing? So was there a lack of follow-up? These are the reasons. I know you're taking notes, my friend. These are the reasons why the visit does not occur. Okay, however, again, I made a lot of assumptions. I assume that you're not getting inquiries. Maybe you're getting inquiries. So I assume you're not getting visits. Maybe you're getting visits. And maybe it's the next phase that's not executing upon. So you have the visit occurred, and then they're ghosting you. You're hearing nothing. You're hearing crickets after the visit. Is that your situation, my friend? Is that your situation? Well, let's talk about it. If in fact the family visited your property and all of a sudden they want nothing to do with you, well, we gotta look a little bit inwards, right? We gotta figure out, well, what happened there? What happened there, right? Was it the property wasn't really ready? Do they feel like, ooh, they don't know about this place? Does it feel like it's not put together well? I've seen so many properties just kind of thrown together, so make sure that the property is standing out. It's fully equipped with quality cooking tools, with quality settings to make sure that you're drawing these people in. Okay. So I would say those are like the three biggest bottlenecks to securing that contract. Number one, your visibility, which is AKA awareness. Number two, I would say getting that contract to go to the visit. So that's that evaluation in between. So the evaluation process or the negotiation process, we couldn't overcome that for whatever reason. And number three, that visit. So those are the three things. If you can knock those three things out of the park, it's not hard to do, guys. It's not hard to do. There's a whole roadmap, a whole framework. It's not hard to do. We work in roadmaps. We work in frameworks inside of our business just to make sure that our community can just rinse and repeat. We're very much a part of the copy and paste. We do not want to reinvent the wheel just because, if we've already done it, it's done. Let's not reinvent the wheel. Okay. So hopefully that provided you some value. I felt like I spent way too much time on that. But nevertheless, okay. All right. Let's see. I'm not getting inquiries. Okay, great. So I went ahead and I answered that. Okay. So if you're not getting any inquiries at all, go ahead and try out some of the things that I mentioned to you. Okay. All right. Tara says, what makes you different from others in the MTR coach position? Oh, Tara, that's a really great question. So I don't compare myself to others for the most part. I just know the value that I offer to our community of burnt out doctors who are looking to just make a difference in their lives, create a revenue stream on the side, and create a life that they don't need a vacation from. So that's what I do. That's my jam. I focus only on insurance policyholder strategies. Our members not only use the insurance policyholder strategies, but they also leverage secondary midterm rental strategies as well. I have trust issues again. And so for me, it is all about, well, what is your secondary strategy just in case? Okay. So for me, it's all about less is more, less is more, less is more, less is more. And I truly believe you only need 2 properties to be wildly profitable, but they must be highly in demand properties. They must fit into a specific buy box so that they will work. Okay. So we start with the analysis, want to analyze before we acquire. All right. Okay. So I do have to go, guys. But before I go, I would love, love, love to invite you to connect. We have an exclusive in-person retreat happening that is going to be going through and talking about our exact framework. We're going to equip you over the course of 3.5 days. 3.5 days, only 15 attendees. We have 7 spots available. This is truly your chance to gain that insider access to what it looks like to start investing in real estate. For those of you who've been learning all year, who've been discovering, who've been thinking, this is the retreat for those who are ready to do the thing, to get it done, right? To get it done. It's not just, we're not just thinking at this retreat. That's that's done, right? It is time to get it done because it's a lot, right? And I just want to make sure that you guys are fully equipped before the end of 2024 because there are some massive tax strategies that I want you to take care of. Okay, so let me give you a couple of details of what we have going on at the retreat. Oh, okay, there you go. I see the book of call. Awesome. Yeah. This is a smallish retreat, guys. Again, 15 attendees. It's going to be in beautiful Serenbe, Georgia. I see a few more questions. I'm going to get to those before we wrap up, but it is 3.5 days, super intimate, in person, highly curated. We're diving into my signature course content. I am walking you through step by step by step. You get to learn everything that you need to launch. You get to learn everything that you need to get started. As a matter of fact, what I love about our retreat is that several of our members, they were able to get properties under contract within 3.5 days while there. As a matter of fact, one of our members, we listed her property during the List Your Property Now challenge. We listed her property on the platforms and she secured a $6,500 per month booking for 12 months for, hear me out, for an unfurnished property, which is something that I don't recommend. So Alexis, thank you for teaching us that lesson as well. We usually see a 3 to 15x actually return when we furnish. So that was an extra special bonus that we saw last year at the retreat. So really excited about that. So again, if you're ready to stop talking and start doing when it comes to investing in cash flowing real estate, I would love to have a call. Let's have a call. We're going to chat about where you are now and where you need to go, and we'll determine whether or not this retreat is for you. Okay, so grab your spot. If you DM me GROW or you comment GROW in the chat below, we're dropping the links on all the platforms as well to book that call. We'll get that link for you. Okay. All right. Let's make some magic happen together for 2024, guys. Love you all to the moon and back. Bye-bye for now, my friends.